It was just another fun voyage for Prince Arthur, the Prince of Havenmore, a prince so full of himself he believes the world exists to serve him.
Faster! You're too slow!
At Prince Arthur's urgent command, the crew sprang into action. Just as the ship began to move, a loud crash echoed. They had struck a massive hidden reef. Waves exploded against the hull, crashing over the deck with roaring fury. The once clear sky darkened instantly, turning into a stormy void, as heavy rain poured down like a waterfall from the heavens.
Turn the ship around! Too late, my prince! We're sinking! Take the escape boat! No one gets left behind!
The crew and Arthur desperately clung to the swaying ship as it tilted dangerously, until a massive wave crashed over the deck, sweeping Arthur into the dark ocean.
Prince Arthur!
By morning, the gentle waves carried Arthur to a deserted island. From that moment on, life wasn't about to go his way. A long night at sea had left him unconscious, his breath faint and fragile. Out of nowhere, a wild boar appeared in front of Arthur, sniffing curiously at his face. Its sharp bristles brushed his skin, jolting him awake.
Monster!
He was unable to do anything but scream and flap his arms, hoping the boar would spare him. But before anything could happen, a pretty red-haired lady saved him. Even at that moment, Arthur couldn't help but notice her wild beauty. "Get lost, you stinking wild boar!" "Hey, are you all right?" Spoiled prince that he was, Arthur couldn't bring himself to say thanks.
I had it under control. You didn't have to interrupt.
Right. Just like you're handling the crabs on your ears.
Crabs? Ah! Crabs! Help! I'm under attack!
Diana burst into laughter and began pulling the crabs off Arthur with her bare hands.
Who are you? Where am I? And who's in charge?
Me. Here? Me. I'm Diana. My ship sank weeks ago. I'm guessing yours did too? It was then that his memories returned to him.
My men! The ship! Did you call for help?
Oh, I screamed. A lot.
Maybe you didn't scream the right way. Help! Somebody help!
For hours, Arthur toiled and innovated new ways to be saved, and Diana entertained herself watching him. She knew none of it would work on this godforsaken island. Maybe save your strength for survival? We should find food.
We? You mean me finding food? Do you know who I am?
A man who just washed up like seaweed?
I am Prince Arthur Smicklericles V, soon to be King of Havenmore. And you are? A pirate, I presume.
Diana. Just Diana.
I can see from your appearance that you're a lowly pirate, and therefore ignorant of the ways of the world.
I'm the ignorant one?
I shall forgive you for not knowing your place.
Instead of falling at his feet and thanking him for his mercy, Diana laughed, loud, unapologetic, and deeply amused. Yes, you're right. I am a pirate. I rule the sea. You rule Havenmore. This isn't Havenmore. You can find your own dinner, Lord Fancy Pants. Arthur's jaw dropped. He couldn't believe Diana's guts. No one, absolutely no one, had spoken to him that way. Hours later, Diana returned with food. For some royally deluded reason, Arthur believes that the food was his.
Such an obedient subject. Did you prepare this meal for me?
It's not for you. If you want some, say please.
How dare you address me like that?
Okay, say please, Your Highness.
That's not what I meant!
Instead of serving him like he believed she should have, she began stuffing her face with food, making Arthur really angry.
If you think I'll beg, you'll be sorely disappointed.
Why would I be disappointed? This stuff tastes great. Starving Arthur watched the food disappear bite by bite. Last chance for the magic word.
Never.
In response to Arthur's reaction, Diana simply smiled and calmly enjoyed the food that she had just gathered. For the first time in his life, Arthur was not treated with reverence. It struck the very limit of his royal pride. He was determined to show her who's boss. The moment he noticed her picking sticks, he sprang up and began to pick his, determined to do whatever she was doing better.
It's mine!
Why don't we just put the sticks together and share the fire?
A fire? I thought you were building a fort.
A fort with twigs?
If you need fire, find your own sticks. This one's mine.
Arthur did secure the stick, but had no idea what to do next. When night came, Arthur watched in amazement and some jealousy as Diana lit her fire by rubbing 2 small stones. But Arthur had 0 chance of lighting anything. How do you expect to start a fire like that? Just share mine. We'll use your wood so it lasts longer. Arthur couldn't believe she was willing to share after their fight. For the first time in his life, he felt something strange. Shame.
Thank you.
Consider it my apology for letting you starve." Arthur was touched. Maybe he had been wrong about pirates, but all too soon he ruined the mood.
So, how does a pretty lady such as yourself become a thief? Pirates?
A thief? Just because I'm wearing pirate clothes? Do you always judge people by what they wear?
To be honest,
Before another argument could start, a voice rang out over the wind. "Someone's coming." They huddled closer, hearts pounding. A sudden gust blew their fire out. "Gah! Gah!"
Calm down, girls. I won't hurt you. Who's there? The name's James, miladies. Beg your pardon. I thought you were both ladies. We got stranded here after a shipwreck. I'm Arthur, and this is Diana. She's quite been stuck here for months. Best follow me. Another storm's brewing.
At that very moment, Arthur and Diana placed their full trust in this strange man. Without hesitation, they followed him as he led them to a clearing, where he had his small tent, grateful for the warmth. A minute later, James returned with some roasted fish in his hands. As the fragrant grilled fish was placed in front of Arthur, he immediately slipped into an oddly noble dining mood. With exaggerated elegance, he began to eat.
He always eats this fancy?
I think so. We only met today.
So you're not a couple?
Heavens, no! Have you ever tried to leave?
I've built many rafts. The sea is against us. Only a sturdy ship can sail here. And who's coming to save the likes of us, eh?
Suddenly, the wind picked up. Arthur wrapped his arms around himself while Diana shivered from the cold. The fire was nearly out.
It's gonna be a cold one. I'll make a shelter for Diana. You're a man. Need me to make yours, too.
Arthur's eyebrows twitched in annoyance as he watched James deliberately flex his muscles for Diana. James's shameless flirting annoyed him, though he wasn't sure why. He just knew he didn't like James.
I shall make my own tent from nature's offerings.
Then they both began setting up their own tents. James moved with ease, arranging everything skillfully and finishing Diana's tent in no time. Arthur, on the other hand, struggled from the start, and his final result looked more like a pile of tangled sticks than a proper shelter. Just ask him to help you too. It's obvious you've never done this before.
I would rather kiss a wild boar.
I think I could arrange that. Arthur suddenly wasn't thinking about kissing boars anymore, but her. Though it was a bit of a struggle, Arthur finally had a tent. It was wobbly, but it was his. Something he made with his own hands for the first time.
Ta-da! I shall call you the Bayside Manor of Magnificence.
As if to mock him, another strong gust of wind picked up and sent his tent flying far away.
More like Manor of Misery. Sorry, mate. Milady, see you in the morning. Maybe I'm not cut out for survival. Maybe I'm destined to freeze to death.
You're not dying. Just let go of your pride.
Diana, may I share your tent with you, please?
Bravo! Saying the magic words wasn't so hard, was it? Arthur was surprised at how good it felt to say please. He was learning a lot from her. The cold inside was just as cruel as outside, but for now they focused on something else. Sorry for yelling back then, but I'm not a pirate. I was found in a shipwreck as a baby and raised by them. They were my family, but now they're gone.
I'm so sorry. I should not have judged you.
Arthur's heart went out to her, and he learned another lesson. Making assumptions about people was just wrong.
Maybe it's time for a new start. When we escape here, you could live at my palace. I want to learn from you, to do things myself. Thanks to you, I see I'm just a little above a spoiled prince.
Their eyes met, holding for a moment, almost as if they might kiss, before Diana turned away. I guess I'm a little sleepy. Watching her sleep, he realized then he had fallen for her. She didn't care that he was a prince, and she made him want to be a better man. However, the spark that had just begun between them quickly faded by the next morning. A distant whistle pierced the air, jolting Arthur and Diana awake. They crawled out of the tent to see James rushing toward them. What's going on?
There's a ship! A princess! Sailors! I didn't know you were the prince! Forgive me, your highness! Never mind all that. Come on, we're going home.
And then Arthur gently took Diana's hand, and together they walked toward the ships, waiting in the distance. Upon reaching the beach, Arthur instantly recognized the pretty blonde leading the rescue team. His heart sank. Prince Arthur!
You know her? She's Camilla. Just a friend.
He couldn't bring himself to tell Diana that Camilla was his fiancée. Their betrothal had been arranged when they were 8. He had planned to end it because he didn't love her, until the storm hit. Mwah! I'm so happy to see you alive! Everything's okay now. Your betrothed is here. Diana's glare burned into Arthur, but he couldn't bring himself to meet her eyes. All through their journey home, Camilla clung to Arthur, and he didn't get a chance to talk to Diana. He didn't even have an idea of how to fix the mess he was in. But once they reached shore, he finally found the courage to face Diana, because he knew just how much she meant to his life.
Diana, don't go!
You said she's just a friend!
I was on my way to see her and end the engagement before the shipwreck.
Why am I even crying? We've only known each other for, what, a day?
A day. A lifetime. What does it matter? I'm a prince. I know what I want, and it's you.
It seemed Arthur had truly moved Diana's heart. She agreed to give him a chance to make things right and to give them a chance to be together. And so Diana agreed to stay at the palace under the guise of Arthur's servant, a safe mask to keep her by his side without drawing unwanted attention. But Camilla wasn't too happy about it. Servants don't sit at their master's table.
She saved my life, Camilla.
That's her job. Hey, redhead, I need more syrup.
Camilla, the syrup is right in front of you.
Oh, I'm happy to serve. She grabbed the syrup and poured the entire bottle over Camilla's pancakes, proving she wasn't someone to be pushed around. Stop! Stop, you peasant! You didn't say when. You uncouth imbecile! How dare you!
Perhaps extra syrup is extra good.
You! I'll deal with you later. For days, Camilla acted as if nothing had happened, which only made Arthur more suspicious. He didn't know how to tell her he was breaking up with her yet, but he knew one thing. Diana needed to be on guard. In the meantime, Arthur and Diana enjoyed sneaking out to the garden at night, unaware of the envious eyes watching them and planning something utterly cruel. One night, Arthur was ready to take things to the next level.
I want to show you something.
He led Diana to the portrait of the late king and queen, then revealed a hidden chamber behind it, one that held the most treasured crown of the kingdom.
This crown, made by my great-great-grandfather, is only worn by the queen.
It's so beautiful, but why show me this?
Because I choose you as my queen, if you'll have me.
In response, Diana leaned in and gave him a peck, making Arthur melt.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll tell Camilla it's over tomorrow.
Good luck, Lord Fancy Pants. The next day, after breakfast, Arthur finally told the truth to Camilla, about the engagement that should have never been, and about the one person he truly loved, Diana. Your parents chose me! Marrying me would secure your position and help you ascend the throne! You'd throw that away for a pirate girl?
I care about you, but only as a sister. This engagement is something I never wanted.
What will the kingdom say when their future queen is a thief?
She's not a thief. How can I make it up to you?
Your mother's crown. I had always imagined wearing it. Let me see it once more. It was a strange request, but Arthur was eager to have her gone, so he agreed. But when he opened the safe...
The crown! It's gone!
But no one can access the code without knowing the code. Are you sure you haven't accidentally shown anyone? Arthur's thoughts flew to Diana. She had seen him dial in the code. He doubted it was her, but he had to be sure.
Guards, bring Diana to the throne room.
In minutes, the guards dragged Diana in. What is this? Why am I being treated like a thief?
The crown is missing.
You know I didn't. You have to be sure, my prince. Guards, search her bag.
No, wait!
Before he could stop them, they had her bag turned upside down and the crown fell out. Thief! Just what I'd expect from a pirate. It was like Arthur had been stabbed in the chest 100 times. He couldn't believe it. This is a setup! But at that time, the evidence seemed clear.
Guards, take her away.
Arthur, please! Why couldn't you believe me? And just like that, Diana was taken away from the palace. Deep down, Arthur truly wanted to believe Diana wasn't the one who did it. Even with Diana gone, Arthur still refused to marry Camilla, so she had to go. For days, Arthur wasn't himself. He barely ate, didn't shave. His mind was consumed by Diana. She had hurt him, but he still longed for her. His relief came when James, whom he had now employed as one of his guards, made an unexpected confession.
Diana is innocent. Camilla knew the safe's code. She was jealous. She made me plant the crown in Diana's bag. Please, forgive me. You betrayed her? I thought if she left, she'd come to me, but she only ever had eyes for you.
In that moment, the truth was revealed. All Arthur wanted was to see Diana again.
Guards, prepare to depart at once.
Diana stood on the deck, her gaze lost in the distance. Suddenly, loud sounds echoed from the shore, and for a moment, she thought she heard someone calling her name.
Diana!
Come to arrest me?
It was Camilla. She set you up with James's help. He spoke up to prove your innocence.
Wow, shock of the century.
I'm sorry. I should have trusted you, fought for you. I should have done so many things, but I trust you now. With my life. And if you can forgive me,
Diana gasped in surprise as Arthur went down on his knees with a ring.
then I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
Rise, my Prince Arthur.
Make me.
And so, kneeling on the filthy docks of Havenmore, Prince Arthur Smicklericles V found something greater than a throne, a soulmate to stand by him for life.
Do you know what it feels like to live in a splendidly luxurious castle, wearing extravagant dresses, indulging in exquisite dishes, and always having servants take care of you? Well, actually, I don't really know either. I'm just a little maid who's fortunate enough to be friends with Princess Anne. Oh, by the way, my name is Diana, and I was born in the palace of a small European kingdom. Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, I don't exactly live a fairy tale life. I'm only here because of my mother, Stella. She had devoted her entire life to serve the queen, so in return, I was allowed to live in the castle. And when I grew up, I became a servant to Princess Anne, who was just a few ages older than me, so we immediately hit it off. Ironically, though, I'm not quite cut out to be a servant. I'm a bit, okay, maybe very clumsy, and I tend to be less helpful than I actually should. When all is quiet, it's likely that I've just hidden myself away in the library, lost in its endless sea of books. It would be more fun if Anne was just as happy to spend time in the library as me, but she doesn't care much for reading or studying. She said it makes you age like crazy. But still, she must attend her mandatory classes, by the Queen's order, of course, although she'd much better enjoy cooking, cleaning, and decorating. So whenever there weren't ice on us, Anne and I would help each other out. I would sneak into her classes, listen to the tutor attentively so I could help her with assignments later. In return, she'd help me with the palace's errands. Anne was how I imagined having a sister is like. We just got each other's back. I knew the real Anne. I supported her passion for baking even when her own mother forbade her, and I was the only one who knew about her big crush on Count Harold, who often came bearing tributes from the people. Anne was so kind that she always gave me plenty of good food to share with Mom and other maids. But Mom wasn't too thrilled about this. For some reason, she was always anxious seeing how close me and Anne were. Don't forget your place, Diana. Princess Anne is still royalty, and you're just a little maid. Be sure you never cross the line with her. She's just trying to help us, Mom. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Then one day, Anne found a beautiful vintage dress from her closet and convinced me to try it on. I agreed, and once I stepped out of the changing screen, Anne was amazed. See, you'd make such a gorgeous princess. Did I ever tell you you remind me so much of my aunt, the late Queen Mary? I don't have much memories of her, but I've seen her picture in the royal family tree, and you very much share the same aura with her. I wish, Anne, but if I were a princess, I would have people do whatever I want. Like, fetch me my robes, servant, and when you're finished, my toes could use a salt bath. We were just messing around when Mom came storming in. Diana, how dare you desecrate the princess? I told you not to cross the... She didn't finish her words, but fell to the ground, holding her chest in pain. I rushed over to her as Anne ran to the hallway looking for help. Mom! Diana, I need to tell you something. No, Mom, save your strength. The doctor will be here any minute now. No, Diana, you listen to me. I've been hiding the truth from you your entire life. It's time you learn. What? What do you mean? I'm not your birth mother, Diana. Just find my safe, okay? The answers are there. And don't tell anyone. She took one last breath before closing her eyes. The doctors rushed in, but it was too late. She had a heart attack with a pre-existing heart condition, so she didn't stand a chance. I spent the next week doing nothing except grieving my mother's passing. It didn't even bother me that we were not genetically tied. In my eyes, Stella was my mother, the only family I had. She loved and cared for me more than anyone else ever could. It hurt to even be here in her room, feeling her presence surrounding this place. But as I was going through her stuff, I accidentally stepped on a section of the floor that sounded hollow. It immediately sprung open, revealing a secret cellar underneath. The first thing I noticed was an intricate key-shaped necklace. Next to it was a letter, unveiling that this was an heirloom from my birth mother, who was none other than Queen Mary herself. Even more shockingly, she was still alive. On the day I was born, by Miranda's order, I was separated from Queen Mary, and she was held captive in the castle's dungeon. If it weren't for her pleading Miranda not to harm me, I might have been thrown into some orphanage far away. Instead, I was placed in Stella's care, as Miranda wanted to keep a close eye on me to prevent any chance of betrayal. Stella had regretted following Miranda's order ever since, as she grew to love me like her true daughter. She wanted to run away with me, but the thought of Miranda finding out and putting her family in danger stopped her. But she'd hoped that one day I'd be reunited with my mother. None of this felt real. My hands were still shaking as I held the letter. I need the answer to all my questions. I owed it to my mother to fulfill her dying wish. That night, following the instructions my mother left in her letter, I pretended to be a maid bringing food to prisoners and went down the secret tunnel. There were no guards in the large abandoned prison, only a thin, emaciated woman. Slowly and carefully, I approached her. "Are you Queen Mary?" I handed her the necklace. The woman's eyes lit up, and she looked up at me in shock, tears welling in her eyes. "Diana." I nodded. She pulled me into her arms and cried in joy. But then she abruptly pulled away from me. "What are you doing down here? Miranda is going to find out. It's too dangerous. You need to leave." "It's okay. No one knows I'm here. They won't find me." "Still, it's too risky. My sister is an evil woman. She always wanted to be the queen. So she picked the day I was at my weakest to imprison me, subdue you, and falsely declared my demise during childbirth. That's how she eliminates any obstacles that stop her from seizing the kingdom. But Miranda will never be the queen in people's heart. She's nothing more than an oppressor, and it pains me to know she has corrupted our kingdom. But you are here now, Diana. You're the true heir to the throne. You have to stop Miranda." "Me? I still haven't dared to believe any of this is real. I grew up just a little maid who's never been formally educated. What can I possibly do to overthrow someone in control of an entire country?" "Diana, I'm sorry I couldn't give you a better childhood, but I know, deep inside, you are a strong, resilient girl. Stella told me all the time how smart and bright you are, as she brought me food. Me and her both believed in you. You have the power to make things right." My mind was still swirling with all this new information, things that just seemed impossible, unbelievable. "I understand why you might be doubtful, but here, leave the palace and test your DNA against mine. Once you confirm your identity, you can decide what to do next, but you can't stay inside the castle any longer. 'Cause once Miranda finds out you know the truth, she won't leave you alone." I hesitated for a moment, but I knew what needed to be done. So, early in the morning, I packed up some belongings and grabbed some food before sneaking into a freight truck that was about to leave. But then I suddenly bumped into someone.
"Hey, watch where you're going!"
"Shh! Keep it down!"
"Why? Don't tell me you're some kind of thief."
"No, I'm a maid. I'm just not allowed to go outside the palace. But, the princess desperately wants to make a Dutch chocolate cake, and the storage is out of ingredients, so I need to go to market."
"And did you plan to sneak into my truck and have a free ride there?"
I didn't know it was your truck, but if you can help me, that would be lovely."
"And what would I get in return?"
"My company."
"Fair enough. It's a lonely ride. By the way, what's your name?"
"Diana. What's yours?"
People call me Harry. Now let's get going."
We hopped into the truck, and Harry turned out to be not such a bad companion. It was nice to have someone else my age to talk to for once, especially a handsome one. Then he turned on this music that's called pop. I swear, it was so good, I couldn't help grooving along.
"This song is my favorite. Do you know it?"
"Nope. The Queen doesn't even allow us to own a radio."
"Oh, wow. Maybe I can sneak one in for you."
I would absolutely love that. After a while of driving, we took a break in the forest to stretch our legs. I shared with Harry some cookies Anne baked earlier today, when suddenly a snake coiled around the lower part of my leg and sunk its teeth into it. Pain immediately shot up. Moments later, Harry dislodged the snake and threw it away. Then he leaned over, sucking the venom out of my wound without hesitation. I blushed, both confused and flattered. He grabbed some clean cloths in the truck and helped me bandage the wound.
I'm sorry, that was weird.
No, that was kind of you. And I really hate to say this, but I don't think the snake is poisonous. I read about it in a book once, but still, thank you for saving me. His face turned bright red even for minutes later. It was so cute. We then continued our journey. When we arrived in an aristocratic area where people seemed to be living in luxury, I began to doubt that the kingdom was as poor and in bad shape as Queen Mary had said, until we arrived at the commoner community. I was taken aback by the small buildings and houses that were old and crumbling. The market was basically desolate, with only a couple of sellers in sight. I couldn't even find any baking supplies there. It was growing dark, so Harry asked if I wanted to crash at his place. I had nowhere else to go, so I agreed. Harry's house was shockingly small, but it was clean and cozy. His father is a doctor, and his mom takes care of his 3-year-old sister. They kindly welcomed me and invited me to have dinner with them. Although it was frugal, to say the least, and I could tell that everyone was still hungry after the meal. I have a loaf of bread in my pack. I'd love to share it with you all if that's okay, to thank you for your hospitality. Harry's mother smiled and nodded, and his little sister squealed in delight as she dug into the loaf of bread. Since the famine began, everyone has suffered, even the ones with good jobs. We've all needed to tighten our belts a bit. Just then, a loud thumping sounded at the front door.
Open this door now, or we will kick it down!
As Harry and his parents rushed to the door, I hid in another room, afraid that I would be recognized. The guards were there, demanding tax payment, or else the family would be removed from their home. It hurt me to watch them fork over the money, searching their pockets to count every last coin they had. That night, I tossed and turned. I couldn't stop thinking about how Queen Miranda could oppress her own people to this point. I was flooded with guilt, thinking about how gleefully Anne and I would share the tributes taken from these poor people, unaware that they were suffering and starving. I couldn't stay in bed any longer. I crept out into the hallway and down the stairs, and suddenly spotted Harry's father, reading a book under a lamplight. I'm sorry to disturb you.
No worries. Anything I could help you with?
I actually do need your help. You see, I left the palace because I wanted to confirm something. If you could please compare my DNA to this person believes she's my birth mother.
Sure. It might take a couple of days.
That's fine, but please do not tell anyone about this. He looked confused, like he wanted to ask more questions, but seeing how reserved I was, he didn't. The next morning, I helped Harry and his mother clean up the houses of other people who couldn't pay the tax last night. The guards had ransacked a number of homes looking for the money, and now they were left starving and penniless. It couldn't go on like this. I need to find a way to feed the people first. So I came up with the idea of hunting some wild animals in the forest for food. Then I instructed each household to build a hidden cellar under the ground to store their food and keep their properties to themselves. I was so focused on the dire situation that I didn't even have time to worry about the DNA results until I received them that evening.
The result shows that you and the other person are indeed related.
I see.
It also shows that the other DNA belongs to the late Queen Mary. May I know how this is possible?
It's because Queen Mary is still alive. And if the result is true, that means I really am her daughter. At that moment, Harry unexpectedly entered the room, jaw dropped.
You're what?
Hey, Diana here. Last time you saw me, I had received some life-changing news. I'd lived in a beautiful castle my entire life, but only as a servant to my best friend, Princess Anne, until I was revealed a huge secret. I was actually the daughter of the late Queen Mary. Only she wasn't dead. She was being held prisoner by her sister, the current Queen Miranda. Also, that made me a real princess. I was still skeptical about it, so I went on a mission to find answers and free Mary. I found a friend in Harry, a delivery driver for the castle who showed me the poor conditions most people in the kingdom were living in. But the thing is, I didn't spill a word to anyone about my identity until I received my DNA results, confirming a connection with Queen Mary.
Why? All this time, you've been keeping it from us? Your citizens?
I had my reason, okay? And I only found out about this not long ago. But yes, Queen Mary is indeed still alive. Then I began to tell Harry and his father the whole story. I know it sounds crazy, but
I believe you. DNA doesn't lie. I'm sorry for doubting you. But the important thing is, you're the true heir to the throne. You're gonna be the key to end Miranda's tyranny. Slow down, son. We'll need a perfect plan, or else it would cost us our lives. And we can't do it without you, Diana.
I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. The fate of the whole country was now resting on my shoulders, and I wasn't sure I was ready. I needed a little time to clear my head, so I took a walk through the town street, only to see this heartbreaking scene.
Please, Diana, help us. Our supply is running out, and we'll soon owe grand tributes to the palace. Next month is Princess Anne's coronation.
I didn't know what to say to them. I couldn't promise I would succeed. Gosh, I just needed one moment away from all this. I snuck away to a hill, and shortly after, Harry found me.
You're okay? I'm sorry if I put a lot of pressure on you. Just know that you don't owe us anything, and it's up to you whether you want to do this or not.
I really appreciate that. But yeah, I knew I had to do this, just not sure how.
Don't worry, okay? We'll figure this out together.
For a minute there, I lost track of everything as I gazed into his sparkling eyes. But this is not the time, Diana. I shook my head, and when I opened my eyes again, the lights from the aristocratic area lit up. That's when it hit me. Hey, let's ask the Noble District for help. They have more resources than they could ever need.
We've tried that, but every single time they'd send hunting dogs to chase us away.
So they're just as corrupted as Miranda. Then we'll have to take it from them instead.
Let's assemble the people.
The next morning, everyone gathered at the square. I had rehearsed my speech all night, and I was ready. Citizens of our kingdom, listen to me carefully. Rise up and reclaim what belongs to you from the nobles and the dictator Miranda. We can't keep our heads down and put up with this anymore. We need to unite and fight them for our resources.
But we're not fighters. They take us down immediately.
That won't happen. We outnumbered them by a wide gap. We can beat them if we're willing to. So, what do you say? No one replied. They all looked concerned and doubted my words. Right then, some nobles walking their ferocious hunting dogs passed by.
Hey, what the heck do you think you're up to? Dissolve, immediately.
Then they released their barking dogs on the crowd. People started screaming in fear. I tried my best to calm them and bring the truth to light. Can't you see? These people and the Queen live in luxury because they robbed us of our food, our wealth, our dignity. Do you know what the beef and pork you work so hard to raise are used for? To feed these dogs. Meanwhile, all you have to get by on is dry, moldy bread. And you're just gonna accept that? Do you want to spend your whole life bowing down to these cold-blooded people? I held my breath as they murmured to each other. Then they stood up taller, stronger, together.
Get out of our town. You have no power over us anymore.
They shouted at the nobles, forced them and their dogs to retreat. The people cheered as they left the city square. Harry and I looked at each other, knowing we needed to act now. So we led the people to the nobles' food storage to reclaim everything that rightfully belonged to them. The news of our coup quickly reached Queen Miranda, who issued a nationwide warrant for my arrest. I had to watch my back everywhere I went, but luckily, the citizens were looking out for me too. Like when the soldiers were on to me, Aaron, the flower shop owner, told me to hide in his flower cart. When they approached, he replied,
"No one is here except me, you fools. Get out of my way."
Then continued to push his cart away, leaving the soldiers dumbfounded. Another time, I was on the run again from the nobles when the trolley came near. The driver told me to hop on, then handed me a uniform and a fake mustache, and voila! We confused the heck out of those nobles. But there were many more encounters like that with Miranda's minion. It'd be a matter of time before they caught me, so we had to overthrow Miranda before that happened. At the same time, we also needed to get a stable food resource for the people. I knew the castle's layout like the back of my hand, so we hatched a plan to sneak in. And we had to take action before the coronation ceremony, when Anne is supposed to ascend the throne. If not, Anne would just become Miranda's puppet, and the country would endure her tyranny for many more decades. This was our only chance, because the palace's security would be at its most vulnerable since everyone would be gathered at the chapel preparing for the coronation. It is time to end this, once and for all. The night before the coronation, we snuck into the castle as planned. I led a group of people disguised as servants down to the dungeon to rescue Queen Mary. Meanwhile, Harry led the rest of the storage warehouse to seize the largest food storage in the palace to make the enemy surrender entirely. But when we arrived at the dungeon, Miranda was already there.
"Diana, what are you doing here? Run, now!"
"Shut up, sister.
I was waiting for my niece."
How did you know I'm here?
Ha! Do you genuinely believe you could pull off this foolish treason plan without my notice? Guess you really are nothing more than a dumb maid. Guards, bring them out.
I turned around and saw the guards dragging Harry and his team to the cellar.
My guards have already captured your other crew in the warehouse. It's time to end your ridiculous rebellion.
You...
Unless you'd like them to be banished from the kingdom instead.
Do whatever you want with me, but leave these people. Miranda smirked, hearing my words, and ordered the guards to throw me along with the others in the cell. Please, Miranda, she doesn't deserve to rot in here.
You still can't shake off that rambling habit after all these years, sister?
You'll never get away with this. You've oppressed your own people to their limits. Someday soon, they're going to rise up and overthrow you.
Big words for such a little brat. Let me guess, even you couldn't tell that your own partner is my right-hand man, aren't you?
What? Harold, the Count? You're lying. It can't be. Harry, why are you standing there? Say something. But he only turned away, in shame. So this is real? Had he been pretending to be on the people's side all along? What about his family?
I asked him to turn you over for my guarantee of his family's safety and a lifetime supply of food, and he agreed. He had no obligation to you now. He's already betrothed to Princess Anne.
Betrothed?
You'll have the rest of your life in the dungeon to think it over, brat. Harold, let's go.
I was dumbfounded when I suddenly heard a familiar voice echoing through the dungeon. Diana, where are you? Anne, is that you? I'm straight ahead. There you are. I was so worried when you suddenly disappeared. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you everything. It's okay. I just heard the whole thing since I followed the guards who dragged Harold down here. But don't you worry, I can plead to my mother to release you, under the condition that you and your mom leave the country and never return. Why? You don't really think you can stand against my mom, do you? There's no end to this, Diana. I know, but with your help, we might be able to turn things around. We have to fight for what we believe in, Anne. You still want a simple life and open a bakery, right? This is your chance. But she's my mother. How could I turn against her? Please, Diana, just listen to me. No, Anne. I can't do that to all the people who are suffering out there.
We'd rather stand here forever than be free and act like Miranda didn't commit all her crimes.
I guess, from now on, we go our separate ways. Goodbye, Anne. Anne burst out crying and left. I slumped at the corner of the dead silent cell. What was I thinking? That I could make a change? And now I had failed everyone. Queen Mary, Stella, Harold, Anne, and everyone else. I don't think I could do this anymore.
Don't cry now, dear. This isn't the end.
I don't even know anymore. There's no way out. Harry must have known I could never succeed. So he switched sides, right? So did Anne.
No, they might have had their reasons, but they did what they did, and it's not your fault. I know it's hard, but you need to get it together. This is not the time to show weakness.
As much as I didn't think I could, I was determined to try. Early the next morning, another group, led by Harold's father, unexpectedly showed up for mine and Queen Mary's rescue. How did you know we were here?
Harry contacted me last night and asked for help. So, here we are.
You see? Not only me, but the people also believe in you. I suddenly understood why Harold had to pretend to be on Queen Miranda's side yesterday. He had a backup plan all along. Now we needed to go stop the coronation ceremony ASAP, before it was too late. When we arrived, Anne was already walking up to receive the crown. I dashed through the spectators to get to the front of the crowd. Stop! I object to Princess Anne's coronation because I, Diana, daughter of Queen Mary, am the legitimate heir to the throne, and I have the DNA test as proof. The crowd grew loud as they reacted to this news. Even the soldiers stopped in their tracks.
Guards! Seize her!
Before they could reach me, Harold and a group of civilians created a human shield around me, ready to protest.
Order! Order! That evidence is fabricated and there's no proof of its validity. Don't be fooled by her.
At that moment, Queen Mary finally made her entrance, and the crowd went dead silent.
Citizens of our kingdom, I'm your Queen Mary, and I'm very much alive. But I've been held captive for so many years by none other than my sister, Miranda. It was she who took advantage of my weakness after Diana was born to seize control of the kingdom. Now, she and all of you know the truth, and you know that Miranda is not your— Stop all this ridiculousness! I am still the queen of this kingdom, regardless of how. This is treason. Seize them all, now!
But no one did as she said. The soldiers, officials, and the entire crowd turned to face Queen Mary and bowed before their true queen for the first time in 18 years. Miranda angrily charged towards us, but she took a surprise detour to prison, where she'll await trial. Then an official returned the crown to Queen Mary, but she didn't put it on. Instead, the ceremony was started again, and I was crowned as the new queen of the kingdom. Are you sure? I still have so much to learn.
Why don't you see it for yourself? All hail Queen Diana! Thanks to you, we are saved from the famine and the dictator. You gave us a better life. You are the queen we've been praying for.
I could burst out crying hearing their chanting.
You see, being a queen is not about immense wealth or influence. It is truly about what you have to offer to the world and who you are inside. And you, my dear, are ready for this.
Thank you. I'll try my best to live up to your legacy, Mom. I gave her the biggest hug as the crowd cheered on. And so, I officially became the queen. My first order of duty was to return what rightfully belonged to the people. I promised myself that from now on, no one will suffer under my rule. As the people gathered their things, Harold came wanting to talk, and we left for somewhere private.
Diana, I want to be honest with you. I originally became a royal official because I wanted to change Miranda's mind and help the people, but no one took me seriously. They said I should know my place and be grateful that a commoner like me landed a place among the nobility. They even forced me to be the one who delivered the tributes from the people to the castle. It made me sick. But the moment I met you, I felt joy and happiness, the kind that I hadn't felt for a while now. I didn't want to accept the truth that I was betrothed to Anne. I just wanted to be with you.
I didn't know you feel that way. Mom told me you like me and want to be with me, and she'll let us be after I was sent the throne. Anne!
I'm sorry to say this, Princess Anne, but your mother has been deceiving you. I was only engaged to you by her force, not my own will. I deeply regret disappointing your feelings.
I'd never expected my first love would end like this, but I'm glad for you, Diana. You two have my blessing. Oh, Anne, I never meant to hurt you. No, this will be good for me. I can finally leave the castle and have a normal life. Become a baker, like I always wanted. Thanks to you, Queen Diana. As sad as it made me to lose her, we'd grown up together after all. I knew it was best to respect her decision and let her go. It was what we both needed. Now that everything else is sorted out, I can breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, wait. Not yet. Harry or Harold? Which one is it?
Whichever one you like.
Let me make this clear. I'm still mad at you for lying. So you'll face punishments, mister.
Well, look who's flexing their power on day one of the reign.
What? You dare challenge the queen?
No. This humble servant of yours is ready to obey the almighty queen's orders for the rest of my life.
Then I order you to kiss me now.
At your service, your majesty.
Then he pulled me closer and swept me off my feet with the most passionate kiss ever. Guess my story does end like a fairy tale after all, huh?
Jody and I dragged our aching feet on the hallway after the whole day searching every corner of this mall. Oh, my legs are toast. I don't think I can walk further than this. Who makes an ad without specifying an official store? I can't believe we've walked to 10 stores and we can't find her. Let's try this last store. If she isn't here, then we get an Uber and go home. We walked into the store holding the last string of hope, and there she was, sitting majestic on the shelf. We ran up to the shelf and Jody, being Jody, started to cry. She's so beautiful! We finally found her! The baby Stella doll collection! We quickly brought Stella to the cashier, then walked out of the store like world champions holding a trophy, knowing everyone was staring at us like we were crazy, as if we care. Hi, I'm Leah, and here's my bestie, Jody. I've known her all my life. We've grown up together in the same neighborhood. As long as Jody and I are together, nothing matters whatever shenanigans we were up to. Today, we just got the perfect doll to complete our doll collection. That was all that mattered. It's not easy to find someone sharing our weird hobbies, right? Jody is the queen bee of everything, and she has always pushed me to be a better version of myself. Like when she became the swim team captain and always encouraged me to join the team, and it turned out that I actually loved swimming. The next day, we came to the pool to see Dee, our team member, doing a perfect backstroke. Good job, Dee. Then he gathered us and announced the upcoming synchronized swimming competition. And naturally, Jody secured one position and the other was also up to her. Sir, that's easy. It's Lee. I know you two are joined at the hip, but it needs more than that. With all due respect, sir, believe me, Lee is perfect for this position. It's a synchronized duet. Who else can you trust to be in sync with me other than my best friend? I was happy that Jody had so much confidence in me, but also anxious. I've never been in any nationals before, but it's a great opportunity, and I never took it for granted. I'm gonna try my best to prove my worth. So, instead of joining Jody's family on a skiing trip, I stayed behind to practice in the town swimming pool in the summer. One day while resting, I suddenly felt water splash on me.
Then I saw the most beautiful boy on earth. He was coming out of the pool, and it felt like the sun was radiating on his skin. I watched him climb up the lifeguard ladder and put on a name tag that read Evan. Okay, it seemed like I got my future husband's name. And now it's time to show what his wife was capable of. Then I showed off my best moves, but he barely looked at me, so I knew just what I needed to do. Help! Help! I'm drowning! Right at that moment, Evan dashed into the pool and rescued me like a brave knight. You saved me! Wow, you're so strong! And you are so pretty. And then he winked at me. Ho ho ho, I guess I drowned again in those eyes. From that day, I started going to the pool every day. Evan always waved at me, but that was all. He never made a move to come near me again. I couldn't fake drowning every day at the pool, so I settled for the friendly waves. Finally, Jody was back from the holiday. So tell me everything about the mystery lifeguard. He was so gorgeous, but I'm not sure about him. He hasn't asked for my number yet. You should have walked up that ladder and said, "Hey, mister, do you like me or not? Because time is running out." That's definitely what you would do. Exactly. Like yesterday, I was at the mall with my mom and I saw a boy, Mark, at the ice cream stand. He was drop-dead gorgeous. I walked straight up to him, took his phone, put my number in it, and told him to call me. And he did that night. Whoa. Would that work with Evan? Only one way to find out. The next day, I mustered my courage and marched straight up to Evan. Hi, Lee, right? Yes. How are you doing? Good. Hey, let's go up the lifeguard's chair. There's shade there. He offered his hand to help me go up there. Actually, I wanted to talk to you sooner, but it's kinda super busy here the past few days. You know. Oh, that's it. I sat next to Evan as he paid close attention to everything happening in the pool. We talked, we laughed, and I even felt his fingers brush over mine. Talking with him was so fun that I forgot the mission today. Ask his number. It's all right. We had loads of time for this. But all that went away when I got to the pool the next day, and he wasn't there for the days after. There was still no sign of him. He came and went just like a fever dream, leaving me aching in a quick fever of first love. Well, his loss. He had all summer to ask you out, and he didn't. Good riddance. Yeah, but I should have just asked him out like you suggested. Come on, forget about him. Now, let's focus on an important issue. My birthday. As always, it's gonna be the biggest event before school resumes. And you know what? Mark's gonna be my escort. Ooh, dreamy Mark is coming. Can't wait to meet him. Just like Jody described, her parents spared no expense. Her party was packed with all friends at school and some of her social circles that I've never seen before. But in the middle of them was, for a second, it felt like I was dreaming, like I'd spent the entire summer dreaming of this face. Evan was here in flesh and blood. I was about to confront him, then, you came! Lee, meet Mark. Mark, it's Lee, my bestie. What? My head was spinning. So Evan was also the Mark guy Jody had been talking about the whole summer? How could it be? When Jody spared herself to other guests, I dragged him to the corner. Evan, what are you doing here after disappearing all this time? And Mark? What's with the name? Actually, my name is Mark. The pool was too cheap to make a new name tag for me, so they made me wear an old one for a former employer. And I just took the lifeguard job in the summer. Things just got a little hectic, so I forgot to tell you. I never planned to hurt a beautiful girl like you. What? No! You don't get to flirt with me anymore! Besties like the same guy. How could it be more typical of dramas? No, sisters first. Jody was with him, so I'd better stay away. That's right, there's no other way. With the decision having been made, I tried to hold my aching heart to sleep. Until the next day at school. I was grabbing things from my locker when someone startled me. Hey, Lee, it's great to see you again. Evan? Mark? Why are you here? I go here now. Now I could swim in your beautiful eyes every day. See you around, gorgeous. That's not good. Lee? What's going on? Why was Mark looking at you like that? Oh, screw. She saw that? That's it. It's better that she heard it from me and not from someone else. I took her to a quiet spot and explained everything to her. The look on her face was not reassuring. So, are you saying that Mark is Evan, the lifeguard? Then let's go to the pool to check. I already told you he doesn't work there anymore. We can ask Mark directly instead. Excuse me? Asking him? Sorry, I'm not like you to ask this kind of question. What does that mean? I just see you're making excuses to steal my boyfriend. Stop being Delulu. What? Talking about Delulu, Mark is not your boyfriend yet. Let's see who can win him. Challenge accepted, bestie. I couldn't believe in my ears. Jody had been thinking of me like that all this time? I came to school the next day to see Jody and her other friends marching in the hall.
Mark, let this smile always on your face, 'cause when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while.
Classic Jody. But flashy things don't shine. Then I approached them and faked being fainted to fall into Mark's embrace. And his gallant caught me before knowing what happened. Aw, you saved me again. How can I pay you back, my love? I could see the fire burning in Jody's eyes. At lunch, I went to the canteen with Mark. I could feel the distance of the time we're away, but it's nice to talk to Mark/Evan again. But Jody, out of nowhere, sat down beside him.
Hi, Mark. And Lee? Watch out your food, Mark. Do you know one time she was so hungry that she stole her date's food while he was in the restroom?
So, do you know, Judy used to devour the whole turkey on Thanksgiving?
She just peed into the pool last week. You know that?
Hey, it's just an accident. And you bought your mom's Gucci bag and blamed it on your brother.
Not as interesting as you still needing your mom to sing a lullaby every night.
Geez, I wish American presidential elections could be as hot as girl fights. Too frustrated, I blurted out every secret we kept together since we were kids, until teachers stopped us. We had to clean every single corner of the pool as punishment.
Let me help you, Jody. Thank you, bestie.
Yeah, bestie my butt. And just like that, the Third World War continued. The whole school started whistling about the famous friend duo of the school turning to bark at each other. Go ask your queen bee first. One day, Mark came to find me, and we were talking for a while. I'm sorry. I think I need to be held accountable for what is happening between you and Jody. No, it's not your fault. Just some girl stuff, you know? Then from nowhere, Jody stormed in.
It's you! You tore up my swimming presentation draft to the coach, right?
What gibberish are you talking about?
The draft was just right there on this table, but when you came, it disappeared. We found this near your locker.
What was it? It's a piece of paper from Jody's draft?
I'd never seen it before, let alone tore it. I saw with my own eyes. Don't you dare try to deny it.
But I'm with Mark all this time. I can't do this. I just came, so I'm not sure.
Enough with your lies. You'll no longer be accepted in our team. Get out.
What? You can't. Don't forget I'm your partner in the upcoming competition.
Of course I can. I'm the team captain, and Dee will be my partner.
Everything was happening so fast. My head was spinning. What's going on? I've never done such things. But Mark? Why didn't Mark defend me when he knew I was innocent? Was everything worth fighting for that guy? Now I felt like I lost everything. My best friend, my swimming spot. When it's already bad, Mom knocked my room with the most terrible news. Hey, what's going on with you and Jody? Nothing. Nothing? So why is she burning your dolls? What? I looked through the window to see her burning our collection. I immediately ran to her house. Jody, no, please. She didn't. She let it all burn. That was it. Our friendship was burnt to ashes like our dolls. A few days later, Jody and Mark became official. Thanksgiving came, but I felt lonelier than ever. Not because Mark chose Jody, but our dying friendship. So I came to the swimming pool in town. While letting myself float on the water, I heard a very familiar voice. Lee, is that you? Oh my god, I hoped I would bump into you here. Don't even speak to me, you devil. Did I do something wrong to you? You ask? You forgot what you've done to me a few days ago? But I was in Switzerland until yesterday. Turns out he went to a military school in Switzerland and only returned home on holidays. And Mark was actually Evan's twin. So I'd been fooled all this time? The news hit me with the utmost shock. All the suppressed emotions were blurted out with the tears. Evan pulled me in his embrace and listened to every word. I'm sorry my brother must have been messing with you. I'll handle this, I promise. A few days later, Evan asked me to go to the cafe near school to talk about the truth he learned. We stepped inside to see Jody sitting here with her new boyfriend and new best friend. I was about to leave, but Evan pulled me back. Trust me, will you? Then he held my hands and walked me towards them. Upon seeing Evan, Jody couldn't hide her shock.
Huh? You look like my boyfriend.
Yes, I'm his twin brother. Right, Dee? You know her too? She is our sister. Well, half-sister. We have different last names. Then Evan told everything. But you know what was new? And here is your presentation, Jody. It's my sister who hid it, not Lee. I gave you the chance to come clean, but you refused it. I'm disappointed, Dee. But why blaming me?
Because it's always been you. Jody will always choose you just because you're her best friend. How fair is it? I'm also a good swimmer, you know.
So at Jody's birthday party, she overheard Mark talking with me. That's when an idea came to her. She asked Mark to help her cause a rift between me and Jody, so that she would replace me to become Jody's partner in the swimming competition. So you ruined our friendship for this? Then Jody ran out of the cafeteria. It felt good that I'd been vindicated, but it hurt that breaking our friendship was so easy. The next few days were not getting any better. Jody was calling nonstop to apologize, but I wasn't ready to listen to her. One day I heard Jody and Mark talking. I apologized for everything. My sister wanted a spot on the team, so I just want to help. But I thought by doing that I could know what your feelings are if there's someone else like me, because from the beginning I already fall for you.
I don't know what is real or not real anymore, Mark, but I can't forgive you. At least now.
I'm sorry, but whatever happened between us is over. Things were messed up for Jody as well. The next day, I answered the door to see Evan, Mark, and Dee there. We apologize for what happened. We didn't think clear before doing that.
I let jealousy take over me. I'm sorry for things going bad between you and Jody. It's no use being mad this time, at least. Everything was settled in some ways.
I am really sorry about my messy family. Please, I heard enough sorry these days. So how about that? I should have done this long ago. Do you want to get ice cream together sometime? I thought you'd never ask.
And, Lee, I have decided to leave the team.
I can't be there after all of this. But how about Jody? I ran to the school gym, knowing the chaos that was going already. Look at this mess you girls have made. How are you supposed to join the competition without a partner?
I'm sorry.
When the coach left, she jumped into the water and let it take over her. So I joined her. Hey, I can be your partner.
Lee? No, I don't deserve it. I was stupid. I burnt our dolls and I threw away our friendship.
Yeah, you were pretty stupid. And you hurt me. But it's okay. I'm here because you need me. And regardless of anything, I'm always going to be there when you need me.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We both learned the lessons of being calm before saying anything regretful. And now, let's win this thing.
Yes, with you, bestie, I can always win.
It was a Saturday at my environmental club. I saw my friends chatting, so I hurried over to join them. What about Walmart? Walmart? You guys hang out there? Can I come too? I love looking at wall stuff. Huh? Why was everyone gawping at me like an alien? Oh, Walmart! Duh, I was just fooling around. Anyway, you guys go have fun. There. You're probably thinking, has this girl been living under a rock? How can she not know what Walmart is? Well, now I do. Hi, I'm Jasmine, the only child of the biggest hotelier in New York. Growing up rich, I was used to lavish parties and being around wealthy families. That's how I met my girls, Katie and Ashley, daughters of my parents' business partners. I may have lived a privileged lifestyle, but I was actually happiest when I got to work in my art studio. I had an anonymous Tumblr account where I shared some of my finest oil paintings. There, I'd been talking to this one fan for a while, Daniel. He's such a hottie, and he loves art too. But best of all, I just found out we're going to the same high school. Yay! So when the school year started, I asked to meet Daniel in person. Oh, that must be him! I was about to greet him when suddenly a girl appeared. Wow, there sure are a lot of rich girls around here. I swear I saw a few of them ogling you.
Ugh, please. You know how I despise those spoiled princesses the most? I just can't stand being close to them.
Oh no! Daniel hates rich girls? I can't let him see me today. Not like this. So I texted him saying something had come up. Over the next few days, I found out that Daniel was Mr. Cool with all the straight A's, currently the president of the environmental club. And he's single. So that's Haley, just a close friend of his. I was determined to conquer Daniel's heart. I just needed to figure out a way to get around his whole anti-wealth thing. Aha! I'd pretend to be some normal girl and join Daniel's environmental club. In the meantime, I'd make him fall for me before telling him the truth about my Tumblr account. Of course, I couldn't let Katie and Ashley know about this either. And here I am, at the environmental club. I immediately approached Daniel with candies, but you know how terrible rappers are for the planet. Besides, Dan doesn't like sweets. At lunchtime, out of habit, I ordered fast food. But as I went to fetch it, I saw everyone gossiping amongst themselves about the terrible person who dared to order food in single-use plastic. Oh, silly me. I totally forgot I was in an environmental club. I quickly lied that I'd already eaten despite my stomach giving out some monster growls. And today's incident was yet another embarrassing moment I created for myself at the club. Oh, Walmart! Duh, I was just fooling around. Anyway, you guys go have fun. There. Learning to be a normal girly is hard, but dealing with my rich friends was even harder. I'd been so busy at the club I totally forgot I still had the recycling bag on me. No, Not mine. Another time, I nearly got caught while trying to raise funds with other clubmates. I ended up hiding in the restroom for an hour straight. But all the suffering was worth it, as I got to hang around with Daniel. Daniel, I got this for you.
Oh, this is for me? You're a great painter, aren't you? Thanks. By the way, meet Andy. He's in the Eco Bus Stop Poster Design Group, and you're gonna work with him from now on. Not like a rich kid like him needs the bus.
Andy, what are you doing here?
I could say the same about you. My dad just married Daniel's mom, so I'm here to support my new stepbrother.
Ooh, so Andy, whom I met through fancy parties with our parents in the past, was in Daniel's inner circle. This was wonderful news! So I confided in him all about my plan to get with Daniel. So, any chance you could help a girl out?
Sure. I've always wanted Daniel to have a girlfriend anyway. He seriously needs to chill out a bit.
From then on, Andy started teaching me about the ordinary life. One time, he insisted on taking me to the amusement park for the first time. Why do people take the bus anyway? Why don't they just drive a car?
Not everyone can afford a car, Jazz.
So, when will the bus come to pick me up?
The bus doesn't come to you. You have to go to the bus stop.
Huh? A bus stop? What is it?
It's a corner with a bench. You'll see.
The bus was stuffy, and there was a funny smell coming from somewhere behind me. Where's my champagne and hot towels?
Jazz, this is a bus, not a plane. You don't get those things here.
Later, the bus suddenly jolted, and I flew forward, but Andy caught me in his arms. I peered up at him, and my heart almost skipped a beat. He looked so fine from this angle. Finally, we made it to the amusement park, and it turns out it was so much fun. I went on these twirling teacups until I felt dizzy, and threw some balls at a tower of cans. On the way home, Andy insisted on joining this massive line to try some tacos. I'd never waited this long for food before. But oh boy, they were tastier than a Michelin star food! Best of all, Andy also helped me get close to Daniel. Only I got so nervous. The trees are leafy, aren't they? I mean, all trees are leafy, apart from trees in the winter, as they're not very leafy.
You're just the right combination of cute and awkward.
Holy moly, I thought I was cute. I was ready for my sweet first kiss when Haley butted in and started boring Daniel with talk of some project. Later that day, Haley pulled me into the corner.
Who are you, and why join this club?
I'm just an environmental enthusiast and a nature lover. This girl is everywhere, third-wheeling with me and Daniel. But it's okay, as Andy had invited me to his house to work on a poster for the club. And I mean, I could conveniently bump into Daniel there too. Oh, some of the paintings here were amazing. I didn't realize Andy was an art fan. We discussed some of our favorite artists, and then I showed him my finest paintings on my Tumblr account.
Wow, I can tell you truly have a knack for transitional blending. Actually, I dreamed of becoming an artist, but then Mom left me and Dad to travel the world and fill her own painting dreams. I didn't want to make Dad any sadder than he already was, so I stopped painting.
I told him to pursue his passion no matter what, and invited him to join me in my art studio whenever he wanted. Suddenly, it was so hot in here, I needed a glass of water before I melted. I walked into the kitchen to find Daniel daydreaming out of the window. Hey, is everything all right?
Eco Bus Stop has hit a dead end due to the lack of funding.
I knew I could just give him some of my allowance, but that would mean revealing that I was a rich girl. So I decided to cheer him up by pulling funny faces and said it would all be okay. But then...
You don't understand. I have to make this project successful no matter what. Only then I can get a scholarship into my dream university.
His attitude stunned me. This Daniel was completely different from the fan I talked to. But maybe he was only acting up because Eco Bus Stop means a lot to him. So, the next day, I decided to give Daniel his most wanted gift, an envelope with my monthly allowance. Just as I was about to reach Daniel, Haley stopped me.
I know your secret already, rich girl.
What? No! You must be dreaming stuff up.
Oh, really? So you don't know these people? Aren't they the troublemakers from the rich kid clique?
Yeah, they are. Why would I be friends with those spoiled brats? Spoiled brats?
Jazz, how could you say that?
Your whole Save the Trees act didn't work on me. You were acting fake from the start, so I followed you and saw you with your rich friends at the luxury outlet. That's correct. Jasmine father owns more hotels than your dumb club members' houses combined. I don't know what she's doing here. Next thing I knew, Daniel walked off without saying a word, so I ran after him.
I knew it so well that rich people like you ain't no good. You could have funded the project, or at least helped me ask your father for a loan, but you did nothing. You disgust me.
I only did it because I like you! Right then, Katie and Ashley caught me up. I'm sorry for what I said earlier, girls. It was my fault. I shouldn't have said such nasty things about you guys.
I didn't think a noble lady like you would ever lower yourself for a pity boy like him. If you want back in the clique, then cut ties with your low-rent friends.
Maybe my club friends were right. We've been so shallow and materialistic. We should change, not them. You! How dare you, Jasmine! Jasmine! So, Daniel didn't want to see my face while Katie kicked me out of the group. For 1 week straight, I shut myself in my room. It was awful, but it did give me time to think more clearly and come to realize I should stop chasing Daniel. Instead, I want to be more active at the environmental club as I truly love contributing to the greater good. So, the next morning, I went to the beach cleanup with the club. Everyone looked so shocked to see me, especially Andy. You're back! I'm so glad you came. How have you been? Then we chatted happily while cleaning up the trash with everyone. Only Daniel and Haley were visibly annoyed, but I just couldn't care less. From then on, I was busy helping prepare for the Shark Tank show to raise capital for EcoBus Stop. One day, Daniel approached me and apologized for overreacting that day. He went on to explain that his mom's been labeled a gold digger ever since she married Andy's dad. He wanted to show that, unlike Andy, who had been born into privilege, he didn't need money, and that he could get a scholarship into his dream college through EcoBus Stop. Hearing this, I softened and forgave him. After that, we became friends again, and I think he was flirting with me. Hey, Jazz, you look nice today. You've got such beautiful eyes. But for some reason, every time I was with him, all I thought about was Andy. Time passed by, then came the Shark Tank qualifying round. The whole club nervously watched Daniel present the project. And guess what? Our project was selected for the final round. Right after that, Daniel followed me outside. Jasmine, will you be my girlfriend? I was so confused that I mindlessly nodded, but somehow I didn't feel happy at all. On my first date with Daniel, I found my mind wandering back to Andy. Worse still, I felt like he was avoiding me. A few days later, I threw my 16th birthday. All my friends from the environmental club were there, except for Andy. Later, Daniel went on stage. Hey everyone, I prepared this special song for my girlfriend Jasmine. You say you're sorry, but it's too late now. So save it, get gone, shut up. 'Cause if you think I care about you now, girl, I don't give a fudge. Next thing I knew, everyone was gasping and giving me pitiful looks. So this is for you, Jasmine, you useless, rich, spoiled little brat. Happy birthday, you're dumped. I froze, but tried to pull myself together. Yes, I'm rich, but never useless and spoiled. People are more than just their social class, you know. Suddenly, I saw a fist flying through the air. It was Andy punching Daniel. You jerk, you'll pay for this. Then he leads me away. Andy sat me down on a bench, and I just couldn't stop my tears. Stop crying already. He doesn't deserve you. He never did. But I couldn't deal with this right now, so I turned and ran off without uttering a word. After crying myself to sleep that night, I knew the next day I had to be tough, so I returned to the club to get my stuff. Hey, I'm sorry about what happened last night. I never thought he could do such terrible things to you. And I'm sorry for being harsh on you this whole time. I know now that was wrong of me. It's okay. I guess it was just my fault from the start. I ignored the fact that we were incompatible just because he was my fan. Daniel is your fan? Yeah, from my Min Arts account on Tumblr. Oh god, that's you? I'm the fan, not Daniel. Oh, that makes sense. I guess I misunderstood everything all along. But why is there a photo and info of Daniel? Haley admitted to having a crush on Daniel. But now that I see his true colors, he's just not worth it anymore, you know? I'm gonna leave this club too. It's Daniel who needs to leave. Just wait and see. Despite still being in a mood, I showed up to Shark Tank's final round to see the project I contributed to. And yes, our EcoBus Stop project finally got the funding approval. When suddenly, I'll invest in the project, but I don't want Daniel as my partner. I want it to be Haley, as she's the real mastermind behind this. All the club members shouted in union to support Haley and boo at Daniel. What about our deal? You said your father would invest in my project if I dumped Jasmine publicly. I don't know either. Maybe it's because you really suck. Moments later, Katie's father got between them. Fortunately, Andy filled me in on Haley's contribution to the project. Otherwise, I would have made a terrible mistake by funding an opportunist instead. As for you, Katie, how could you do that to a friend? You will receive your punishment at home. After the show ended, I went for a walk with Andy. So, this was your plan all along, huh? Daniel went too far this time. I need to teach him a lesson, and... Jazz, I've liked you since we first started hanging out, but I stupidly agreed to help you get with Daniel. This is so sudden. I don't know, Andy.
I promise to take care of you from now on. Please give me a chance.
Andy, actually, I like you too, but my stupid self kept telling me to pursue Daniel, and all this time I've been thinking about you a lot, but I just need some time.
That's all I need to know.
I was in my room, humming to the latest Harry Styles song and preparing gifts for my new classmates. Balenciaga? Nope. Too cheap. Gucci? Louis Vuitton? Before I could make a decision, my dad barged in.
Sally, why did you give money to that scammer?
He's poor, Daddy.
And?
Okay. He said his mom wrote Baby Shark, and you know I like that song. Dad was always nagging me, but she did write the song, right? Anyway, I'm Sally Mayers, the youngest daughter of Frederick Mayers, the CEO of the super successful agency Modeling Sync. I suppose you'll say my life was extravagant, but hey, sharing with others isn't extravagant. Daddy says I should stop worrying about handbags and intern at his company. But how will a hot young thing like me slave away in a boring job, huh? So I moved out and was on the search for my calling in life and my Prince Charming. One day, I was out shopping when, bump, our eyes met, and I didn't know if it's because of the fall or not, but I felt dizzy seeing his angel face. Then suddenly, he leaned toward me and stole my first kiss.
Sorry about that. I haven't paid my rent, so I couldn't let my landlord see me.
And kids, that's how I met your father. Not yet, but soon to be anyway. A cute guy falling in my arms had to be fate, so I invited him to live in my house while he earned enough to pay his rent. His name's Robert, and he's handsome, a great cook, and he adores animals. He's practically perfect. Except for his mood swings. Sometimes before going out, he'd be making me my favorite oat milk lattes and checking I'm okay. But when returning home, he'd just slump on the couch and order me to make him sandwiches. But hey, even soulmates had the occasional hiccup. I told Daddy and my sister, Mia, how perfect he was, but they were both so negative.
Destined lover or a gold digger?
If this boyfriend of yours is so perfect, then where is he? And, actually, they didn't see Robert's face yet. It's just he got camera fright. I desperately wanted to take some couples pictures, but he dodged every time.
Babes, this face is only for you.
Aw, he was so sweet and super caring. Despite Dad and Mia's disapproval, he still attentively asked about their hobbies and work. He was just perfect. There was nothing to ask more from him. Actually, there was. Come here. Just a secret between you and me. I think Robert's gonna propose to me. These days, he seems fidgeting and nervous. Then one day, Robert asked me to meet him in this expensive restaurant. I was sure this would be it. Gosh, I've dreamt of a wedding with my Prince Charming all my life. Yes, I'd like to be Mrs. Hemmings. Look, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a train ticket.
Sally, my dad's just passed away. I need to go back to my hometown for a while.
Then he got up and never came back. I searched everywhere for him, but it was as if he'd vanished into thin air. I knew he was grieving, but he didn't have to disappear like that. I traveled to his hometown, but everyone all said that Robert Hemmings had died years ago. So, who was my Robert? Did I really know anything about my soulmate? Could Daddy be right about Robert being a gold digger?
Enough of your silliness, Sally. It's time to grow up.
I couldn't go against Dad anymore. I had to go back home and work at the agency. At least I had Mia here. But no, I barely ever saw her. She was really too busy being head of the marketing department to come see me. I felt so lost and wasn't enjoying the job at all. Worst of all, I was still missing Robert so badly that I kept making silly mistakes. Everyone was so mad at me. If only Robert was here, he'd cheer me up. One day, Mia asked me to deliver some outfits for a photo shoot. I arrived to see the shoot was already underway.
Snap that camera, darling, while I'm still young.
Boy, oh boy, that dude was sure full of himself. My curiosity poked out and I tried to sneak a peek at him, but when I saw who one of the models was, I dropped the clothes in shock. OMG, it was Robert! I charged through the group of people and wrapped my arms around him. Robert, where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. But he pushed me away.
Get off me! Who are you? Why are you all over me like a rash? I don't know you.
What? But I'm your girlfriend.
Hey, you wish. Line up first.
Easy there, Tiger. This is Henry, our hottest new model. Henry who? I had no idea what was going on, so I pulled Mia outside. Mia, he looks identical to Robert.
Not every guy is your ungrateful ex.
It's not uncommon for people to look similar. Your infatuation for Robert is making you imagine things. That might be true. She talked with me for a while, then put me in charge of the shoot for her. But I couldn't brush off Robert's image on that Henry guy. Then overheard some whisperings.
Henry might be a newbie, but in the last month, he's had 3 major magazine shoots. Rumor has it, it's down to a secret backer.
Something didn't feel right here. So I decided to dive in deeper to solve the mystery of Robert or not Robert. And I easily became Henry's assistant. Early the next morning, I dressed and eagerly ran to Henry's house. Robert usually slept in, so if Henry was Robert, surely he wouldn't have
We're late!
Huh? Oh, surprise! We're not late, as I changed today's schedule into a charity activity. Then, not letting him have any chance to question, I immediately dragged him to the car. Last night when the sponsor called, I nodded without any hesitation. Just imagine those shiny cheekbones on a soup kitchen flyer for the art and for the community. Only when we arrived at the location, there was just a field full of cows and not a soup can in sight.
Did you donate grass to the cows? Still so gullible.
How do you know I'm gullible?
The staff told me. What gives?
Then Henry walked, leaving me there with the cows. But wait a minute. Those moves had a little too much sachet. Was Robert that feminine before? So how about some of my homemade cake Robert always wolfed down? This is Robert's fave dish, right, Robert? He started coughing and mumbled out that he was so hungry, he would have eaten anything. Sure, Hen. So, let's see what excuses you would make in the cooking show, chef. Your excellent cooking skill is going to give you away, dear Robert. Keep up the great act, then. But my smile faded when I saw Henry breaking the pasta in half, mistaking tomato sauce for hot sauce, and setting a pan on fire, causing everyone to run outside in fright. I sure had to do a lot of apologizing to the producers to get out of that one. I didn't understand why my plan went so wrong. Okay, Robert loved animals. No way he could resist an adorable puppy. So I bought my new dachshund, Cora, into work. But to my surprise, when Cora hurried over to greet him, he's screaming like a banshee and ran along the hallway like being chased by zombies. Is it possible? I might have figured out the truth, but I still wanted to meet him the last time to sort things out. But when he showed up, he seemed different, easygoing and thoughtful, and so Robert.
Since when did you take up this dangerous sport? When your ex left? Are you that mad at him?
I kept missing, and it was so frustrating. It's like I couldn't get anything right.
Come now. Your palms have turned all red.
You're so weird today.
Weird how?
Wouldn't you normally be like this? Or like this? Drop the act. I already know everything.
Know what?
You and my dad are dating, aren't you? You want to be my stepmother. In your dreams. I was nuts to think you're my Robert.
What? I don't like your dad?
I didn't want any more of his lies. Only he pulled me back and kissed me. I was still trying to process all of this when he received a call, then ran away, leaving me all alone, like that time. There was no mistaking those lips. He's my Robert. But why did he keep denying it? I needed advice from Mia, but she wasn't home, so I waited in the living room. After a while, the door opened, and I also heard Henry's voice. Why was he here? I immediately hid in the corner, only to see my sister kiss him on the cheek. Henry, my sweet boyfriend. Boyfriend? What? So Dad wasn't Henry's secret backer? It was Mia. But he just kissed me. Was he two-timing me with my own sister? That night, so many thoughts were pecking at my head. So my sister dated my boyfriend? When did they meet? Wait, was that why Robert never wanted to take pictures with me? 'Cause it's more convenient for him to approach Mia? Had he planned everything from the beginning? This hurt so much, but I didn't want to upset Mia. I needed to find out the full details before telling her anything. So at work, I pretended to act normal while cooking up a plan for Henry's upcoming birthday. I knew he was going to brush it off, but I invited all the staff to his place, and of course, he couldn't run anywhere. And his manager, aka me, just accidentally spilled water on him so he'd take his vest off. As predicted, his room key was in his pocket. I went to Henry's room and swiped the card, but it required a password. I had 3 attempts to get this right. I tried Robert's birthday, then mine, but nope. I had one last chance. So, with a shaking hand, I pressed in our anniversary date, and it opened. I rummaged through everything and found a lot of documents about modeling sync. Then I found something else, a photo of him with him? Right at this moment, someone grabbed my shoulder. I turned and saw Robert, but before I could talk, he flashed me his police badge and arrested me for breaking in. He led me into a dark room, and I heard talking outside. How dumb of you to use your anniversary as the password. Then Robert barged into the room, followed by another Robert?
The truth's out anyway. That's the Robert you're looking for, and his real name is Travis, and I'm Edward, not Henry. We're undercover cops investigating your father.
Turned out, Travis was asked to approach me as Robert first, and his brother Edward sometimes filled his place when he was busy. That's why Robert's temperament was so hot and cold.
But we couldn't anticipate that this kid would actually like you. Love is strictly forbidden in our job, so Robert had to go. So I created Henry and approached the suspect's other daughter to continue the mission. That was the plan until my simp brother went to see you without telling me.
So, the one who kissed me was...
It was me. I just really wanted to see you.
This is crazy! But why my dad? What did he do? Edward revealed that he suspected modeling sync was a front for human trafficking, and my dad was the brains behind the operation. No way! My daddy is a good man! Edward, he was always kind to you, wasn't he?
People only show you the version they want you to see. Even this silly boy fooled you. What makes you think your cunning father couldn't do the same? Do you know why he's especially interested in Henry? Because he's his next target. I'm sorry, Sally, but it's true. I know it's hard to hear, but we need your help to stop this.
Did my dad really do all these awful things? But that meant my life was a lie. Whether I liked the truth or not, I needed to discover it once and for all. I held my phone in shaking hands and waited for the message, even though I desperately didn't want to receive it. Sticking to Edward's plan, I ran into Dad's office in a panic. Dad, Henry's about to quit. I found a one-way plane ticket to Ontario, and it leaves tonight.
What? It can't be.
But the message just came. Just like Edward calculated, Edward in his Henry disguise was kidnapped and brought to the port to be tracked. So, it's true. My dad's a criminal. Then the police officers who already surrounded that area will arrest him and...
Sally?
Dad, why are you still here?
Sweetie, it's the middle of the night. Where else would I be but home?
Right at that moment, Travis called me.
Edward's tracking device indicates he's moving in the opposite direction of the police ambush.
I know where he's going. You should go straight there. I asked Dad to drive me there. If Dad wasn't behind it, then it had to be someone who worked directly with the models and knew that Henry was about to leave tonight. The only person who got all 3 was Mia. We arrived at the same time as Travis and the police. Travis rang the bell, and the door opened on Mia and her minions.
What? But we just took him.
Sally? Dad? Mia was still as sharp as ever, but still, the police were one step ahead.
It's you?
Travis reached me first and protected me from her while Edward pulled me aback.
You tricked me!
We have literally everything. Why did you have to go down this route?
You're always Dad's favorite, while I've always been a spare part. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into modeling sync, yet one day it will be all yours. I'd rather burn and ruin the agency I've worked so hard for than see it in others' hands. No, you got it wrong. I love you both.
They arrested Mia and found the kidnapped models. What Mia did was wrong, but she was still my sister, so Dad and I visited her in prison.
Mia, I'm sorry for everything. I thought you were stronger than Sally, and when Mom passed away, that she needed me more than you did. I know it's late, but I promise I will make it up to you.
As we left, I saw Edward and Travis. Then Travis pulled me aside, apologizing for using my feelings to aid their investigation. I still love Travis, but I couldn't get over that. He deceived me, and I wasn't going to let anyone treat me like a gullible fool ever again. So I quit my job at the company and decided to leave my comfy, overprotected nest to experience the real world. After everything that had happened, I maintained my own belief that after the storm, the sun always comes up. I studied abroad, participated in multiple charity organizations, and became a teacher in remote areas. And one time, while I was teaching in a remote jungle location, I bumped into a familiar face.
Don't worry, I'm not running into you again this time.
I was wandering in the forest edge to amuse myself when I realized I got totally lost. What's that sound? All of a sudden, a blur of golden and black spots leaped towards me. I'm doomed! Guys, I'm here in Africa on vacation to support my parents with their new reality show. Oh, duty calls. See you later, Moaz. Hi, I'm Vivien, an influencer from Aachen, Germany. My mom and dad are actors, which does have some perks. They gave me everything I wanted. Branded clothes, supercars, fancy phones. Except for one thing. Their time. Christmas, birthdays, graduation ceremony, whatever the occasion, they missed it. My friends thought I had the perfect life, but my only wish was to be picked up at school by my parents once. I was hoping this trip would be different, but it seems nothing has changed. They seem to have forgotten about their daughter's presence. Duh. That's why I always had to rely on strangers' attention like this. Being here alone was so boring, so I decided to amuse myself by live streaming in the forest edge. Hey viewers! Oh crumbs, I only have one signal bar. Hang on. Looks like I wandered further than I meant to. No worries. What's that sound? All of a sudden, a blur of golden and black spots leaped towards me. I'm doomed! I still haven't eaten caviar pizza, and I still don't own a Gucci bag in every color! I haven't even become prom queen! I can't die! Wait, were my eyes deceiving me? Or was the leopard really knocked out by some jungle guy swinging on a vine? Oh boy, he sure does resemble Tarzan.
Beautiful!
Thank you? I turned to reach for my phone and realized it had fallen on the ground, and I was still live streaming. Viewers were bombarding me with sad and wow face emojis and flooding my comments with concerned messages. Then my parents and the crew showed up. Turns out this guy had been lost in the jungle since he was a little boy, and he was raised by monkeys. His parents had passed away by now. I know, but I got lost too. Then Mom and Dad announced that they'd bring this jungle boy home under the guise of being charitable. Pfft, wasn't it for publicity? They named him Taz and gave him a makeover. Well, at least they tried to. All the suits he tried on tore, as he was way too muscly. It took an entire box of candy bars to make him agree to shave, and he still refused to cut his hair. He could only speak a limited number of words and sentences he remembered from being a kid, so Mom and Dad had to hire a tutor to teach him to read and write, which was me. He hated living in the house, and after several occasions where he climbed out of the window and slept in the garden, my parents built him an amazing jungle zone room. But then he kept me awake all night with his incessant ape-howling noises. My parents even brought him to their shows, and all they talked about every day was Taz this, Taz that, which made me feel like an outsider. This was really hard for me, but I tried to be patient. Then one day, my parents told me the worst news ever.
Taz is going to come to school with you as your bodyguard. We don't have time to do it. At least this time we'll know you'll be safe.
What? But I don't need a bodyguard! Especially not one that can't even speak properly. Taz knows basic conversation now. I don't see the problem. So the next day, Taz started to stick to me. I set some ground rules. He had to stay 10 feet away from me at all times, and he wasn't allowed to mutter a single word to me. Thankfully, Mia, my bestie, was there to provide some normality to the freak show that was currently my life. Coffee for the hottie.
Don't drink. Me test first. Taz say safe for V to drink.
Yummy! Then I quickly explained everything to her. He's kinda hot, in a wild way. Don't you dare say that again! But later, despite my rules, Taz stuck to me like glue.
Parents told Taz must guard V.
Worst of all, the other students treated him like a celebrity. They took his photo, asked him dumb questions which caused traffic congestion in the hall. He immediately ran up the wall like a ninja to escape the crowd, making them even more excited and chase after him. That night, I checked my Instagram and was excited to see that I was only 2K followers away from 500K. Yahoo! Then an account caught my eye. That dude even has a fan page? For real? He stole my parents, my school popularity, and now he's trying to steal my followers too? What's with these crazy people? Why are they all so obsessed with him? At least there still exists a normal person, and handsome as well. Yeah, my Henry. I've secretly liked him for years, but even this sassy Instagram queen has a weakness. Just looking at him made my legs shake, so I admired him in secret. The next day, I was sneakily putting letters and gifts on Henry's desk when Taz interrupted.
Why we do that?
It's for love. When you really like someone, you show them with romantic gestures. Okay, it's like giving your last morsel of food to someone even though you're extremely hungry. Got it? Seeing as Taz was huge, it was no surprise he was soon asked to join the basketball team. Guess who else was on it? Yep, Henry. So I've got an idea. Maybe Taz was my way of getting closer to him. I asked Taz to give Henry a soda, but Taz accidentally shook it too hard. So when Henry opened it, he got totally soaked. Then I told Taz to support Henry during the match, but Taz was so into the game that he accidentally pushed Henry's pants down, revealing his Hello Kitty underwear. Everyone laughed at him, and he was so humiliated that he ran off the court. After the match, Taz came to me saying he was sorry, then continued,
Taz not like Henry.
I decided it was better to separate Taz and Henry before he ruined everything. All right, so I think it's best if you quit basketball.
But Taz likes basketball.
No big deal. I can ask my parents to build you a private basketball court and play with you? But from now on, you'll have to listen to me.
The best ape ever!
Shh, stop saying silly things. Taz seemed so grateful for his new basketball court that he started caring about me more. He brought me an overload of fresh fruit, a bit too fresh, and checked it on whenever I was sad. I had just been at ease for a while before Taz was messing around again. I had a movie premiere to attend and was about to change into my stunning Versace dress, only to discover it had been swapped for a dress made from actual leaves.
Green! Beautiful, she said.
Luckily, I managed to arrange another dress just in time, but at the premiere, when the press interviewed me, Taz appeared.
The best ape ever!
I was so embarrassed. I turned bright red and forgot my words. Thanks to Taz, I became a netizen laughingstock. I swear that I would pay this back, and my chance finally came. The audience loved Taz, but big crowds freaked him out, and he always tried to find a way to hide. During one press conference, I saw him run off frightened, so I followed him. Hey Taz, is there a place that will make you feel better? I can take you there.
We take Taz to jungle, Taz happy.
So I took him to the Dower Forest. As soon as we got there, Taz's mood changed. He ran wild and then stopped at a large oak tree.
Why letters?
This is the bridegroom's oak tree. Local people like to leave love letters here. Then we sat down under the tree, and Taz looked so upset.
Taz not like bright light and flashes.
That's okay. We can just chill here, right? Great. Seeing Taz leave the show on his own, then surely Mom and Dad wouldn't like him anymore. Only, when we returned home, my parents weren't furious with Taz, but with me.
Vivien, you should be setting a good example for Taz, not just inciting and taking him away from important events.
Can you stop acting like a child and think before you act for once?
I shut myself in my room and I had a complete meltdown. Then I rang Mia to confide in her. Living with Taz is a nightmare. He has to leave. What do you mean? I'm going to find a way to kick him out. The next day at school, I was walking along the hallway when Henry appeared in front of me.
V, you have to convince Taft to rejoin the basketball team. We can't win the final without him. Please, I'll do anything you want.
Wow, seems like my Christmas gift came early. Anything you say? How about taking me to prom?
Actually, that's what I've always wanted to do. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I was frozen. This was incredible! I guess my kick-out Taz plan would have to wait for now. So I humbled myself to convince him. As expected, with the help of Taz, the team won. Only neither he or Henry showed up to get their trophy. I went looking for them and found Taz pouncing on Henry. Taz, stop it! But he was too full off rage to listen to me, so I had to jump between them.
He is completely out of control. You can forget about the prom then.
This is all your fault. You stole everything from me since the day you were back from that freaky jungle, and now you've beaten up my crush. All you've done is ruin my life. Why can't you just give me alone? Then he left. For real. This felt great, as I'd finally got rid of the thorn in my eye. Only, I couldn't shake away this empty feeling. Scrolling through my old comments didn't help, and neither did live streaming. I suddenly realized I missed the special way Taz cared about me. And when with him, I didn't have to hide or force myself to be anything other than me. I aimlessly wandered to Dodoor Forest and stopped at the oak tree. A letter poking out of the hole caught my eye. I picked it up and recognized it was Taz's try-to-be-neat but scribbled handwriting.
Henry liar. He's with Mia.
My head was still spinning when my phone went crazy. I checked and saw my inbox was full of rude comments. Then I soon found the viral audio. Living with Taz is a nightmare. He has to leave. I'm going to find a way to kick him out. I was literally petrified for a few seconds, while netizens kept going crazy, saying I was so ungrateful to Taz even after he'd saved my life. How could she? I immediately went to Mia's house to confront her about it. It was you, the only one I confided my story. Oh well, Miss Obvious. It was me. So what? Henry's mine, not yours. He just told you what you wanted to hear to get Taz back on the team. But that moron overheard Henry talking to me and dared to hurt him. You! Hi's, talk about the jungle, dud. Total simp and stupid. I told him you'd love a leaf dress and he totally bought it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get my hair done for a date with Henry. Mwah. I felt like an elephant had slapped right on the face. So Taz was right. Back home, I gloomily pulled out Taz's letter. But hold on, there's still another part. Why didn't I realize it sooner? Right then, my parents arrived home. They'd heard that audio and were absolutely furious. It's your fault Taz ran away. Now we have to compensate for the contracts of the shows he was supposed to be in. You don't care about anyone! Says you! All you do is give me money and that's it. You're never there when I need you. Never! Even Taz cares about me more than you both do. Then I ran off right away. I kept going until I ended up under this bridge. Then I saw him. He was playing with some stray cats and dogs. I immediately ran to hug him and started apologizing, but he pointed behind me and said, "Bad guys, bad guys." I turned around to see two figures headed this way. I dragged Taz into the corner and we watched them bundle the cats and dogs into sacks. They were definitely up to no good, so I used my phone to record them, but...
What you aiming at, kids?
I woke up feeling dizzy to realize that we were both tied up in an abandoned house.
Still no reply from her parents. They better pay up, or else.
You're wasting your time. They don't care about me. The thieves ignored me and kept calling and calling, but still no answer. That was it. I was gonna die here. We. Then, when it was pitch black out there, the door barged open and walked in Mom and Dad with a bag of money. As the thieves counted the money, Dad tried dialing the police, but one of them came throwing his phone right away and beat him up.
Say goodbye to your daughter.
Please don't hurt her. Hurt me instead. This really shocked me, as I'd only ever seen other people bowing to my parents before, not the other way around. The one guy raised a plank of wood to hit me, but right at this time, Taz leaped free and knocked them out cold. The police arrived soon after that and arrested the thieves. Mom and Dad immediately rushed to me. Are you okay, sweetie? We were worried sick when you were nowhere to be seen, and we're sorry for making you feel unwanted.
We never had money growing up and struggled a lot. That's why we wanted a different life for you. We kept working and thought giving you money over our time was the best way to show our love, but we were wrong.
Mom, Dad, what I really need from you is your presence. It's more precious than anything. And thank you for everything.
Okay, I protect V. I protect animals too.
Now I've realized what I needed the most. It was to always stay true to myself, like this dummy. I didn't want to be some fancy influencer anymore. Instead, Taz inspired me to use my reputation to establish an organization to care for abandoned animals. As for my dear ex-best friend and dear ex-crush, meh, they didn't matter to me anymore. 'Cause you know what? The sweetest revenge is to live a fabulous life. At the end of the prom, I asked Taz about the note. Taz, did you write this?
I'm glad you asked. I practiced many times to say those words. Now time to say officially. I like you, V. You're my best ape ever.